Can you give me
Yay.
screen sharing abilities?
Yeah, you should have screen sharing abilities.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Hey guys, welcome to the meeting. Can I get a motion to start the meeting? Do we have enough people?
Motion to start the meeting.
Thank you, Toby. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, I heard a second. All in favor of starting the meeting, please go to the participants tab and hit the yes or the no or the away button.
And then once you do that, I will take attendance real quick.
Mhm.
Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and start attendance now-ish. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes? All right, I see Ben just got here, so. Sam.
Here.
I don't have the screen open on my screen, so you have to say words.
Here, I'm here.
I'm here. Addie.
Here.
Will.
Here.
Ananya.
Here.
Julia.
Here.
Cece. Cece may have messaged me. I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to mark that down. I haven't checked Slack for today yet.
Cece's not going to be here for the first half.
Okay, so I'll give her a 0.5. All right. Manor.
I'm here.
Kidai.
Brianna.
JJ.
Here.
Nathan.
Here.
Talal.
Yeah.
Megan. Megan also said something, did she?
Yeah, she said she's not going to be at the meeting today.
Alrighty. Veda.
Here.
Suba.
Here.
Grace.
Here.
Angela.
Here.
Anthony. Anthony. One last call for Anthony.
I don't see him here.
All right, I'm going to mark him down. And I did not get a text from him. Talia.
Here.
Mariano.
Here.
Chinette. Chinette.
He's not here.
Okay. Karen.
Here.
Obi.
Here.
Eric. Eric is connecting. I can see him. Kobe.
Here.
Raj.
Here.
Harvey.
Here.
Ireland.
Here.
Elena.
Here.
Jenny.
Here.
Ben.
Here.
Alrighty, and this is a reminder to have your camera and mic off when not speaking. Thank you. All right, we're good.
All right, guys. So we're gonna start with exec report. So we're gonna start with Sam. Sam, go ahead.
All right. Hello, everybody. 1 week out from Election Day. Very exciting. Happy Blue Jay Tuesday, number one. Number two, I met with the other senators who are working with me on the ethics board project on Friday. We talked about different potential proposals to implement. It went pretty well. We're still in the process of preparing for our meeting during the week of November 9th with the presiding officers of the ethics board to pitch our proposals. So pretty excited about that. I met with Sunita. I can't pronounce her last name. She's a chemistry professor. She's the head of the Homewood Faculty Assembly. And we discussed ethics board selection ideas because she's involved with that as well. I met with Vice Provost for Student Affairs, Alana Shanahan, to talk about the Board of Trustees. We went over various potential ideas to propose to Maureen Marsh, who's the Secretary of the Board of Trustees, to improve shared governance on campus. This includes the idea for a community council, which SGA has worked on in the past, getting an undergraduate student on the student life subcommittee of the Board of Trustees to help kind of like shape what those trustees see, which is pretty important. We talked about having an undergraduate observer on the Board of Trustees, which was voted for in the 2018 to 2019 referendum. And if we have that observer, potentially having that observer give, if they're from SGA, give a SGA presentation to the Board of Trustees at every meeting, and the restoration of the Young Alumni Trustee position. So essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to do short write-ups on each of those and send it to Alana so she knows what's on the table. And then as of now, and this plan could change, the plan is just to propose all of those ideas to Maureen and see which one she's interested in. I want help on this, so if you're interested in the issue of shared governance on campus, please get in touch with me. And that meeting is on November 16th. So get in touch with me sooner rather than later. I'd also love to have people at that meeting with me because I believe that this is something that some other people are interested in, and I want to include you. I also spent a lot of the weekend working on logistics for the admin networking event, including topic briefings, attendance tracking, and breakout room assignments. It should be exciting. And we had our weekly Carolyn meeting. We talked about the admin networking event, what we were going to be doing tonight, and ideas for improving the student experience during the fall. And I put the work log on the website, so that is now there. So update that. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. I guess I'm up next. So this past week, I just helped with the admin invite graphic, I think, that we sent out to the admin. Other than that, we are not going to have a meeting next week because of elections. So yeah, you guys get the night off, and I hope everyone goes and votes that day. But yeah, that's it for me. So we have the treasurer up next, Addie.
Oh, oops, I accidentally turned off my video by accident. Okay, so we had our first group come to a SAC meeting, which was really exciting to talk about funding and stuff like that. I think it was a good conversation, and we're actually going to help them do some kind of fundraising as well. So that's definitely an option for groups, because Hopkins Groups has this fundraising feature, and we can set it up and help groups do that for another source of funding. And then we're just, still going through requests and having meetings. If you ever have any questions, you can reach out directly to me or to the SAC email. And our meetings are Wednesdays at 8. So, yeah.
Thanks, Hattie. Next, we have Executive Secretary Brianna.
Oh, I think she might be having a hard time with Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
I'm currently doing notes.
Brianna, if you could just send me your update and I can just say it for you later on. We'll move
on. Everyone else is frozen for me, but Addie's little green box stopped, and I think that means it's my turn.
Yeah, I can hear you.
The update is in the notes thing. Basically, there's not much going on. CMC didn't meet because fall break, but I am monitoring the CMC use form. You should get a response by next Thursday. If you have something, if you need something sooner, text me. I hope everybody had a good fall break, and look out in the future for a survey that might be going out about how people feel about the environment at Hopkins, specifically about toxicity, because I had a few people bring that up to me recently. And that's all from me.
All right, thanks, Brianna. Next we have class council reports. So seniors, Will.
Yeah, class council is planning a spiritware giveaway. We're still working out the logistics, but we have got confirmation that it will be possible for the senior class since this is our last year. Also, today we also had our meeting with the commencement staff, and we are looking into ways on how to engage our class for commencement as best we can virtually, and we're taking steps very much ahead of schedule. Normally planning starts 6 weeks before commencement, but this year we're doing a lot more since everything is virtual. So that's it for us. Oh, it's not confirmed for virtual, but if it is, we're planning things.
Okay, thanks. Next we have the juniors. So Nathan.
Hey y'all. Yeah, I just got a little mini heart attack too. I was kind of shook. Well,
Nothing much to report here. We're also kind of exploring a merge giveaway, so Will, actually, I'd like to talk to you afterwards about how you organize logistics for that.
I have a meeting with Calvin tomorrow if you want to join.
Okay. Nathan, get in contact with Will and Calvin, I guess. All right, next we have sophomore. So Anthony, if Anthony's still not here, does anyone from the sophomore class council just want to give an update?
I can update. I think we're still just getting together at our Halloween event and figuring out like prices for the movies for that event. And I think that's about all right now.
Okay, cool, thank you. Then we have a freshman, so Kobe.
Hi, so we wrapped up our Halloween event last week. It was pretty good. We had around 50 to 60 people show up. Not sure of the exact numbers. Professor Young was there for one of the events, so that was kind of cool too. We also met up with advocates for disability awareness. It's because we're trying to plan out some things that we want to do with them. That's why we have a couple of bills and resolutions that we're drafting. So, you know, big moves. We're rocking.
I'm excited to see these bills. All right, thank you. Next we're gonna go on to committee reports. So we have academic affairs first, so Senator Chanda and Senator Zhang.
Hey everyone, so right now Academic Affairs is working on a mid-semester survey that we're going to be sending out hopefully next week. This is going to give us a sense of how students are doing academically this semester. It also gives professors feedback like midway through the semester so they can improve for the second half. And then we're also hoping to use some of this data to improve academic resources for students. So this should help out with that too. We're also currently talking with the deputy registrar to get qualitative data back on course evals and also improve the questions so that students have an easier time. That's been kind of slow so far, but we're hoping to have some changes made by the course evals for this semester. And then finally, we're working on a work log to keep track of complaints we've received so far and how we're addressing and following up on those complaints.
I like that. All right, thank you. Next we have civic engagement, so Senator Wang and Senator Lee.
Yeah, so last week, due to fall break, we didn't have a meeting. But as Sam said at the beginning of this meeting, the election is a week away, so you should all be figuring out how you are actually voting. And you have a couple of different options. Usually it's KL also just posted our voting guide in the chat, so I would encourage everyone to go look at that. Make sure that if you are mail-in voting, you do that today, tomorrow, or you find a drop box, or alternatively you give it to like the polling center, whatever polling center is closest to you that will take your ballot. Because one of my roommates, it took him 2 weeks to get a ballot. So you don't want your ballot you to fill it out and do all this hard work and then it not be counted because it ended up a little too late at your polling center. But aside from that, we are working to draft some emails to professors so that they specify to their students that classes on Election Day, November 3rd, next Tuesday, are optional, and they should all be giving you some alternate way of watching it or participating in it. So, yeah. So we were trying to get that so that all professors either say that in their lectures or post that on whatever like websites that they're using to communicate information. But so everybody knows in this meeting as well, it is optional. You can go and vote at whatever polling place that you need to. And if they give you problems, please come to us and we will take it up with somebody. But yeah, aside from that, we're also just in constant communications with Hopkins Votes and continuing to push out with social media. But at this point, really what we can do is encourage you all to perform your civic duty and then wait.
All right, thanks, Grace and Kadai. Next we have Finance, Senator Ha.
Hello, hope everyone's doing well. Finance has just been meeting with SAC and we've been going over budget requests. As Addie said, if any group needs to explain their event to us or if we have any questions, you can feel free to stop by our meetings on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Also, we're planning on meeting with another group to talk about finances and I believe fundraisers tomorrow at 11 a.m. So yeah, that's all we're doing. Thanks.
Thanks, Karen. Next we have Health, Safety, and Sustainability, so Senator Chen and Senator Tai.
Hi, Megan's not here, so I'm just gonna update briefly on my own. There's not a lot going on because we skipped the meeting due to fall break, and it's good to take a break once in a while for everyone's mental health. Speaking of, we'll be brainstorming some mental health related initiatives starting this week, which will be even more important that the elections coming up. So let me know if, thank you, Julia. Let me know if you have any ideas on what we will work on moving forward. So that's it.
Thanks, JJ. Next we have Internal Affairs, so President Cho.
Internal Affairs also didn't meet because of fall break, and we also didn't have any legislation to look over, so that's it for us.
Awesome, thanks. Next we have Student Org, so Senator Kalahasti and Senator Chen.
Hey everyone, we spent all of fall break cleaning up every single liaison pairing. There were, to say the least, like a bunch of duplicates, a couple of like issues that came up over the weekend with certain groups. So we finally finished clearing out a bunch of like swap requests this morning and a couple of other like conflict of interest equity issues with some groups today as well. So those are going to be sent out by the end of the week. Everyone should also stay tuned for emails from Megan and I, probably tomorrow or the day after, with just like instructions / guidelines in general. And yeah, also working on having a new meeting time. It's causing me a bit of a headache, but we will hopefully have that time set by the end of the week as well.
Thanks, Ananya. Next we have Student Services, so President Singleton. I don't know if Anthony's here yet, but if anyone else wants to give an update from the committee, they're welcome to.
I guess I can. Mostly okay. We've been trying to work on, someone's been trying to get in contact with someone from Brody about printing, and then just also an Among Us tournament for next week after elections and everything.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Next we're gonna do Caucus Report. So Senator Onananya, if you want to speak for the Black Caucus.
Yeah, no updates on that end, mostly because of the SARS protests and everything. So everything's been kind of busy. And then with fall break as well, so it's still been hard trying to gather everyone to meet.
That's fine, thanks. For the update, I guess Hispanic Latinx Caucus, Executive Secretary Solitali. If you can't.
All right, so for us, Elena, Talia, and I are working on scheduling a meeting so we can figure out what we're doing. We were going to schedule one last week, but I forgot that fall break was a thing that existed, so that has now been moved to this week.
Oh, okay, awesome. Then we have the Women and Genders Minorities Caucus, so Senator Zhang.
Yeah, so we had our GBM this weekend, so there's quite a few updates. We elected a vice chair. It's Ellie Kim. I don't know if you guys, she worked with me on the website from a while back. And then, just to clarify, Ellie Kim, our vice chair, and then our chair, Katie Lee, are both not senators, just as a point of clarification. But also, Elena and Ireland joined the WGMC, so I'm not the only senator in it anymore. Also, Raj stopped by for a bit, so that's pretty exciting. And then also we voted on, or we discussed some changes to our bylaws. We got rid of all of our committees because we just don't have like the capacity for them. And then we just decided to do project leads instead. I'll put the link to our bylaws in the meeting minutes, so if you want to look, you can go look. And then we just have some few ongoing projects. I'm still working on the website with Ellie, and then we also have like a health and mental health resource guide that someone's working on, as well as some restorative and transformative justice. Someone will probably reach out soon to like one of the committees, so just be on the lookout for that. I think that's it.
Awesome, thank you. Then we have our advisory report. So Carolyn.
Hey y'all, so I only have a couple things. One, looking forward to the admin meeting tomorrow, and for you all to engage in that process and advocating for student needs. RSO re-registration is also still moving along. The goal is to have things out of the SLI step and hopefully move through as many steps as possible to approval by the end of the month, which is technically the end of this week. So we might have to push that goal back a little bit, but things are moving along. I am currently doing a Hopkins Group's feedback giveaway. So if you receive the Word on the Street newsletter, it was first announced then last Tuesday. If you fill out the feedback form specifically about Hopkins Groups and give legitimate feedback and choose to participate in the giveaway, you would just have to fill out the giveaway portion. There are individual prizes and group prizes. Individual prizes are swag from the bookstore at different levels. So I think it's like a blanket, the little Blue Jay plushie, and a water bottle for those are the three different prizes. And then for groups, it's money. I think it's $250, $150 for your group to use. So I encourage you to submit some feedback. You all qualify to participate. And then the last thing is there's an academic open house happening. The first part of it was this evening. It's over now. But the next part is tomorrow morning from 8 to 9 a.m. I specifically have been working with the academic departments to host this. It's something that usually happens during orientation week, but obviously that didn't happen this year. And they're using the virtual fair platform and Hopkins Groups to do that. So good way to engage or to encourage some of the younger students, so especially our freshmen who are still sort of undecided for their major. This is a great time to start exploring and listen to those presentations. There's a flyer for it on the homepage of Hopkins Groups. If you click, you can register there. And that's all I have.
Awesome, thanks, Carolyn. All right, we're gonna move into new business, and the first thing we have is the thread presentation. I'm not sure who is presenting it, but if that's you, you can turn on your video and you can go ahead and present. Sam, do you know who is supposed to come?
Yeah, I don't see them in the participants tab. So what I'm going to do is we could go to the next order of business and I'll try to figure it out.
Okay. Then we're going to start with the post-election student support discussion headed by Executive Treasurer Perlman. So Addie, you can go ahead.
You don't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hello again, everyone. So Exec Board was talking and we wanted to have like a discussion about how to best like support our peers after the election. So this is a very difficult time, especially like it'll be even more difficult if a certain candidate wins. But nevertheless, it is a very difficult time for everyone. And so we wanted to think about like support systems and how we can like engage with the student body and just kind of check in and like really utilize our committees like HSS and Civic Engagement. And so I was really hoping that someone could like maybe motion for a moderated caucus and we can kind of like talk about some ideas of how we can like build these support systems post-election. So I'd really appreciate if someone could motion because I can't.
Motion for a Q&A for 5 minutes, 45-second speaking time each.
Second. Hold on, point of order needs to be divisible by 45 seconds, so 6 minutes would be better.
Oh, thank you, math.
Oh, hold on, Mehek just got kicked out. Okay, I guess
Can I present oh, sorry. I was going to motion for for a moderated caucus instead of a Q&A. Can I do that? Or I don't know how this works.
All right, I'm going to take over because Mehek just dropped off.
well,
Sorry, did anybody second K-Dice?
yeah, but you can choose which one you want to recognize, I think is how it works.
I'll
All right.
second.
I'm sorry, Nathan. Say that again.
I was just saying I seconded Nanya's if it hadn't been seconded yet.
All right, I'm going to recognize Anonya's just because I think a moderated caucus would be more appropriate.
Really quick, I think this point of order is if someone already seconded, they have to choose to remove their motion, or you have to make a decision on the first thing that happened before you can move to Ananya.
That was also my understanding, because as soon as a motion is seconded, then it has to be voted on. At least that's how we did it last year.
Yeah, that's what I just wasn't 100% sure about. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Order, or they can pull back their second.
We can do what
unsecond.
We can do what Ananya said.
All right, okay. I'm going to recognize Kate taking that back. All in favor of moving into a... Oh, sorry, Ananya, what was the speaking times and how long?
Oh, I guess I'll go with 6 minutes, 45 seconds speaking times.
All right, sounds good. 6 minutes, 45 speaking time. Please click yes on your participant pad. Or no.
Point of order, who seconded Ananya's?
It was Nathan.
It was Nathan, yep.
Okay, moving forward, make sure you separate your motions and what's happening.
Okay, we're in the majority, so now we're going to start. Let me just get my timer out. Nanya, since you proposed, you have the floor.
Alrighty.
And your time starts now.
I largely have two thoughts. The first one is that I'm unsure of what time frame we are looking at, in that I do think there could be support services necessary from us as SGA on Wednesday, the same way I think there could be the same level of support services necessary from us the following week Friday. So I think that might be a good thing for us to consider. How do we kind of anticipate very different timelines for election results to come out in terms of how we want to sort of describe infrastructure for us to check in with students and kind of be that service or support for them. The second thing that I will say, and I don't really think this is within our ability to do, but I'm wondering if there's ways we can work with faculty and departments as well to maybe be lenient potentially with the way that, I don't want to say the ways that grades are given, but just lenient around people's emotions and I guess state of mind to be in class or
all right, Nanya, your time's up.
Okay, cool. That's all I have.
But if the next person could also give their time, yield some of their time also. Yep, Kate, you're recognized.
If Nanya wants to finish, she can.
She said she's fine in the chat, so go ahead.
Good.
Okay. The SNF Agora Institute also wanted to do something along with I guess consoling people after. I just wanted to bring that up if you wanted a future partnership. I sit on one of their boards, so let me know if you want that connection. Just a note, I think they're also searching for what to do. So I guess it's getting everybody in the room together to talk, I guess, could be beneficial.
All right, Kate, if you're done, you can yield the rest of your time.
I yield the rest of my time.
Perfect, thank you. Up next, we have Nathan. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we've engaged with the counseling center at all on this. I want to be really careful that when we're talking about doing support services for students, I think sometimes this can really, we can stray into the area of mental health. And I think that none of us are really qualified to be dealing with that. So I want to be sure that we're talking with them, and maybe if they have some election type programming or thoughts that we, take the time to, hear them out and maybe promote things that they have as well. I mean, I think there's space for both, but I want to be sure that we're mindful of making sure we run these types of ideas by the counseling center first. I yield my time. I thought I
no, you're fine. You don't. Next up is Kobe. Go ahead.
So this was kind of unrelated at the time, but me and the freshmen were already planning a kind of like mental health thing. We're talking with a place to talk right now. We were just gonna do like, I think something that a lot of people ask for is just like a 24-hour Zoom that you could just hop on and breakout rooms for ranting. And this is just like slightly related, but I just wanted to say that if we could like help combine things and also get more resources, that'd be really cool.
All right, thank you. Kata, you're up next.
I forgot about this, but I got an email from Jackie Stone. I think she's the director of student wellbeing at CHU. She sent me an email saying that she wants to, she does collaborate with Counseling SHWC STS, and they also want to address how students are going to be impacted by the election. So they also want to have like programming, and I guess they kind of want to help, I think. So if you also want me to put you in touch with them, let me know. I got this email like weeks ago and I didn't know what to do. So now I do. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, Kata. Nathan, you're up next. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of seconding what Kata said. She's a great resource. So if they've reached out, I think they're definitely someone we should be in contact with. The other thing I just wanted to be sure that we brought up was something that has now escaped me. So I'm gonna yield, and then when I think of it again, I'm gonna raise my hand.
All right. We have enough time for one more speaker in the 6-minute moderated caucus. Do we have anything else? Sam wants to talk, and then Ananya, you can go ahead. Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess the only thing that I wanted to say is that these are all great ideas. I would definitely recommend, I mean, I think there's a couple ways that we could all kind of move forward in having a conversation about this. And I mean, we could also have another moderated caucus after this. That's another option. But maybe setting up maybe the Civic Engagement and HSS committees can have some sort of like cross committee meeting and then invite people, or, you know, we could have some other ad hoc meeting. Just wanted to put that out there. Great stuff. Thank you.
Okay, this moderated caucus is expired. Can I get any motions to extend or propose a new moderated caucus?
Motion to extend.
Go. Okay. By how long?
3 minutes.
3 minutes sounds good. Can I get a second? All right, that's been recognized. All in favor of extending the moderated caucus by 3 minutes, please click yes. Raj, please vote. Lenore, please vote. Mariano, please vote. I will be Brianna if I have to. Okay, we're at a majority. Ananya, you have the floor.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this. I know that the counseling center, when we went virtual, opened not in relation to us being virtual, but had like an Asian American process group, or like an Asian process group that was like a new one that they started over the summer as well, in response to a lot of like anti-Asian sentiment that was going around because of COVID. I don't know if anyone knows if they're planning to have like any of those other sorts of like processing groups, or like, I don't want to call them like counseling groups because I think their processing groups are really differently structured as far as I know, but I don't know if anyone knows if they're planning to have those, and maybe if they're not planning to have those, that might be something we can work with them to have set up maybe for like the week or 2 or 3 or however long we think would be appropriate after the election, maybe once or twice a week. That might be an idea, since I know they facilitate those types of processing groups already, and that could be a good strategy. I yield my time.
Thank you. That was exactly 45 seconds. Nathan, you're up next.
I remembered. So first of all, definitely second everything Ananya said. I think, working with the counseling center to put together those types of groups and then promoting them is really important. And going off of promotion, I think, I know I sent out an email to juniors about like mental health resources when we had the August announcement about campus going online, but I wonder if there might be a space for that as a class-wide email sometime this week, just because I know stress levels are going to get pretty high. People are going to get just, they're going to need spaces to process. And we have also, in addition to new programming we might create specific for election day, there's a lot of existing things like Civic Cloud, the call map, stuff that we can push out again, just in case, so that it's really easy and accessible and visible to students who might need it in that moment. So I'd definitely be in favor of sending out an email like that if Smolin would be on board.
Oh, sorry. I meant to say I was muted. Yeah, we have time for 2 more speakers. Anybody else? Okay, if not, can I get a motion to close this caucus?
Motion to
Motion to
close.
close the caucus.
Any seconds? All right, seconded. All in favor, please click yes to close this moderate caucus. All right, we're at a majority, so this caucus is closed. Shoot, I just lost. Sorry, my Safari just crashed. Let me pull up the agenda again. All right. Next order of business is admin networking event prep talk by Executive President Mullen. Sam, go ahead.
Thanks, Addie, and thanks, Will. So yeah, I mean, I guess first of all, side note. So we are working on contacting our thread presenter. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, basically what I wanted to do is just have a brief kind of like primer talk before the admin networking event tomorrow night. So first, I wanted to go over the agenda, and this will also be sent in the Slack after the meeting, but I just wanted to give you all an idea of what to expect before the meeting actually starts. So first, we're going to have Smita talk about kind of like the historical context for this meeting, what we've done in the past, like how we moved it to a digital format, stuff like that. Then I'll be talking about why to talk about the topics and why we chose them. Fairly self-explanatory. We are going to do a kind of introduction part. So either administrators will introduce themselves or I'll introduce them using named and campus roles. And then what I'm going to do is explain the logistics of the evening, which I guess I'm also doing right now. So the first thing we're going to do is our first topic breakout room. So I realize that I haven't actually sent you all the assignments yet, but I will do that right after this meeting. So we're going to have the first breakout room. That's going to last half an hour. Then we are going to have a small recap, and we're going to move people into the second breakout room. And you all, as seasoned Zoom classroom participants know, assigning people into new breakout rooms can take a little bit. So we have a transition period. And then we have the second breakout room, and then we're just going to have a larger recap of what each breakout room talked about. We're going to have thank yous, and then the event will be over, and hopefully we'll get a lot out of it. So we have these breakout room assignments, the facilitators. So facilitators for each event, it's not like a huge thing. We just have one person that's staying in each room for the entire session, and that person will be taking notes. And so we have a record of what was discussed. And in the second breakout room, at the beginning of it, they'll do a brief overview of what was talked about in the last breakout room. So the second breakout room has contacts with which they could either continue the first breakout room's conversation, or they can have a new conversation with that information in mind. The other thing the facilitators for each room. So I'll be doing academics, Mehek will be doing COVID-19. Addie will be doing mental health and well-being, and Kate will be doing diversity and inclusion. So we'll each be in each of those rooms for both of the breakout room sessions. And I guess just like this is pretty brief. We could do a Q&A afterwards if you all want. The one thing I just wanted to kind of, I guess, prep you all on. So the idea of this event is to kind of have like more sort of casual collaborative conversations. So, it's kind of just we have an agenda of things we want to talk about. The administrators in each breakout room have seen the briefings, so they're prepared to talk about what you want to talk about. And it would be better to have more, just a collaborative conversation, like talking about what each of you think about an issue and possible ways to move forward, and not really like kind of a situation where we're just yelling and like not yelling at, but just like making demands of administrators. Like that's not necessarily the idea of this event and can sometimes be less productive than you might think. So that's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything I had to say about that. I guess a couple other things. One, I mean, if you want to, for a lot of you, this will be your first event like this. So if you want to talk to me about it, reach out pretty much whenever. Like if you're curious, like what's the best, I'm nervous about talking to administrators. What can I do to kind of get myself ready or anything else? Like reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. So I want to hear about it. And yeah, I mean, we could do a Q&A or we could just move on to the next topic of conversation, whichever works for everyone. Thanks.
Okay, are there any motions on the floor? Yes, Brianna, we will be wearing banana suits. I might write legislation to make that mandatory. Just kidding. That's hazing. Just kidding. All right, if there are no other motions on the floor, this is last call. Then we do have the check-in discussion. Sorry, since I'm new to this, Sam, how are we gonna go about public input period and stuff afterwards? Are we gonna do a breakout room or something for closed session?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we start by motioning for a closed session. So someone just motions for the closed session, and then we get a second, and then we have to vote for it. And after that happens, we're going to go into closed sessions. So we're going to stop recording because closed sessions are not public. And then Addie will be leading the closed session discussion. And after the closed session ends, we'll motion to reopen the meeting. And then we will do announcements, prospective business, and public input. So, yeah.
Okay. Do I do the breakout room? Or?
Oh, wait, the breakout room?
Or because like, I mean, aren't there people on the Zoom who are not?
No, there's not.
Okay, but what if someone joins? I guess no one will join, right?
If someone from the public joins, don't let them in. Oh, and Mahek's back.
Oh, wait, you're right. Okay.
What's going on?
We are just
We're
about
to go into closed session. Mahek, are you taking over again?
Yes, I'm taking over again. But
okay, thank God.
Well, you did amazing.
LOL. Thank you.
Good job, Will.
Thank you.
So are we in closed session? I'm like confused what we're doing.
No, we have to motion and vote into going. We're at the point where we motion to and then go into closed session. Oh,
motion
and
to
then
move into closed.
Wait, quickly. I just want to talk a little bit about what a closed session is before we go into a closed session for the benefit of our new friends at the newsletter and anybody else who might watch this recording in the future. So a closed session is what we move into when we want to talk about, when we need to talk about something that doesn't necessarily make sense to have open to the public. Examples include, and this is not, I'll tell you what we're going to be doing. Examples include impeachment and like impeachment trials that wouldn't be open to the public. Serious kind of like discussions about other SGA members are not open to the public. So what we're going to be doing during this closed input session is we are going to be doing a check-in with all of you, just because this is a tough semester. And I mean, we want to, talk about, just have an open and honest conversation about how this is a hard time to be a student at Hopkins. And it's especially hard when you're juggling that and SGA and everything else. So that's what's going to be happening. And the reason that it's going to be a closed session is because we're going to be talking about, personal details. So that's what's going to be happening. And Mahek will tell us what to do.
All right, guys. So to move into closed session, someone just has to motion for a closed session, and we have to get majority vote. And then we'll move into closed session. And then, I'm sorry if you're from the public or not a senator, I'm gonna have to remove you from the call, and we won't record or take notes on this. But yeah, everything will be posted for the newsletter later on. And then want to end the meeting, it's basically the same thing. You just motion to close the closed session and then you motion to end the meeting. So if anyone wants to motion for closed session now, they can do so.
Motion for a closed session.
Seconded.
All right, all in favor of a closed session, please go to the participants tab and hit yes or no or abstaining. All right, it looks like we have majority vote. So I'm gonna move into closed session. So I'm gonna remove some people. Oh yes, and at this time, make sure you don't take any notes or like anything that says like here should like yeah, so we're going back to recording. Does anyone have any advancing legislation or announcements they want to make? You guys can just go ahead and jump in.
I made my announcement about the Halloween thing. In addition, secondary announcement, I hope everyone had a really good fall break. Third-dairy announcement, if anybody is looking for sustainable ways to shop for clothing, if you guys haven't heard of ThredUp, it is an online thrift store and I like them a lot. If you need a discount code, the internet has like a bunch of them. So if y'all need some fall clothing, I highly recommend them. It's, again, a totally unrelated announcement. I'm all done.
I have an announcement. So in exec, we talked about like how to kind of engage students, like SGA, different groups, all kinds of stuff for like the rest of the semester and next semester as well, like perhaps some kind of fun event just as a way to kind of like, you know, have more of the campus experience, even though we are like virtual. So I like our notes are in the little folder for meeting minutes, but if anybody is interested or like has any ideas about like events that we could do like across student body, like LNK, because I'm really interested in that. And I'll send like a message in our like chat to like explain even more and like kind of share what we were thinking. But yeah, just a quick little update.
Thanks, Addie. Anyone else? All right, if not, then we're gonna go to public input. I'll give 1 minute to the public to speak if anyone is even here.
Didn't we kick everybody out?
Oh shit. Yeah, you did. Yeah, we did. Okay. Yep.
There was
you're
no one
right.
here in the first place.
Does anyone want a motion to adjourn the meeting officially?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right, all in
Segundo.
favor of adjourning the meeting, go to the participants tab and hit the yes, no. Yeah, you know the deal. We're gonna need like 2 more people to hit the yes thing to adjourn the meeting. Okay, I'm right there. All right, guys. So